in New Orleans. It's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. The New Orleans Saints taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
And able to get this out to the 25. Here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Looking to throw. Holt. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Holt. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he's probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 25 carries, 113 yards.
Just an excellent performance from them on the ground last week, and that speaks to an offense that is operating at a high level on all fronts. Of course, that man running the ball, he's just seeing the field so well. But don't forget about his offensive line. They've really asserted their will out there and are confident they can repeat it again this week.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Here comes Edwards-Helaire on the toss right. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing on second and long. Mahomes, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Throwing to start the drive. Holt. There's Chris Olave. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. This defense for the Chiefs, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. The Saints had a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they coming off their very first loss of the season, suffered a week ago.
So now we can all take that chasing the 1972 Dolphins and take it and throw it right out the window, right? But let's face it, not many teams talk about that or even have interest in it. All they want to do right now is bounce back after that loss.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Running from the shotgun with Madison. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Holt. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Ready for the 2nd quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. We're scoreless after 1. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alexander Madison, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the 2nd quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play. Just didn't have any points. So now, it's game on.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
Now Mahomes. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. From the 30 on second down, Mahomes. First catch on that one for Kelsey, and it's a first down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Mahomes now on first down. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Working with a 2nd and 4. Looking to throw is Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34. Throwing now is Mahomes. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Open man here. It's the tight end Kelsey. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelsey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point by Butker is on target, and we are tied at 7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it culminates in a Travis Kelsey touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. On first down, Holt is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is incomplete. Well played defensively, nearly had the interception, but it's second down. On second down, this is Madison. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
This is Alexander Madison out of the backfield with it. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 44-yard line. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Chargers who are out in front. The Chargers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Next, we'll stay in the NFC West as we head up through Oregon and on to Seattle to check on the Seahawks. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And it was the visiting Atlanta Falcons who come in and get the victory. Ryan Tannehill strong in the victory as his guys run their record to 6-1 on the campaign. Meanwhile, in our game, each team able to manage just one touchdown apiece. 7-7 is our score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3.
Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
From the 39, Mahomes. Oh, the out route, he finds Hardman. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. 2nd down, back to Edwards-Helaire. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now here's Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 13-yard line.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chiefs have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that makes the score 14-7. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards.
And it's capped off by the touchdown from Juju Smith-Schuster.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They were 7-point winners a week ago, and they lead by 7 here as well as they start out 1st and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is brought in at the 21. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
He completes it to Olave. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Back to throw. Holt. And that, nearly picked off. It would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the handoff, it's Madison. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Another carry now for Madison. He'll get this down to the 38.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Holt. Got an open man. It's Olave. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 16. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now a give to Madison. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Up the middle they go. It's Bishop, and he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The Chiefs will try and get to the line quickly. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. They're going to clock a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to...
And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers at the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Now McManus for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by the late touchdown. It's a 7-point lead here in the final minute of the game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down 21-14. A little over 20 seconds to go. They've got to travel the full 75 yards, and time is obviously a huge factor. Oh, wide open, complete.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for the Saints, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.